Alright guys, it is several hours later and I'm going to do an extension to the bonus that I did for us because I watched the movie. I've seen Constantine before, but it never stuck with me. Little bits and pieces here and there, but I watched it right after I did our message, and then I did Sagittarius's message, and something said, no, I need to watch Constantine. Now, I know there's Constantine 1 and 2. I don't know if there's any more than that, but I did see a second. I only watched the first, and I took note of a few things that stood out to me. So at 34 minutes and 50 seconds in the movie, well, should I just give you a little quick rundown? I also think that you guys should probably watch Constantine, the first one, before you watch this portion, the extension, this video of the bonus that I did for you guys, so you can kind of take your vibes on it and get whatever comes to you. But I think I should do like a little rundown, maybe? Let me think. No, I think we'll just read what I wrote down. If you guys feel called, you should definitely watch it. Seriously. Okay, so again, at 34 minutes and 50 seconds in the movie, Constantine, which is Keanu Reeves, traps a spider in a glass on a table where he is sitting smoking. In the movie, he's a chain smoker. Then he blows the smoke under the glass with the trapped spider in it and says, "Welcome to my life." And that just really stood out to me. It goes along with the first message, guys, when I was like, do you ever feel like you're kind of just like, you don't know what to do? Like it's almost like the curse also accompanies the blessing. You get the blessing of vision. You get the blessing of spiritual gifts. You get the blessing of being connected and seeing things that other people have chosen not to see. But then the curse comes along with it. Oh, there's more. Just wait. All right, so the second part that really stood out to me was at 59 minutes and 52 seconds. A man, I forget the guy's name, but it's like one of his friends or something, one of Constantine's friends. He is on the phone with Constantine, aka Keanu Reeves, while Keanu is in the car with the detective. And he is reading a portion out of the Bible that is in hell. At least this is the movie, guys. I'm just telling you things that stood out to me about the movie. I'm not by all means saying that this is reality. I'm just saying this is the movie, and I think there's messages in it that we can pay attention to, right? So anyway, there's a part in the Bible, in the movie, that says it is Corinthians 17:1. Mammon, which is supposedly the son of Satan, would need to possess a psychic with the help of God. Would need to possess a psychic, which is very interesting because in the last video I was talking about spiritualism and religion and things like that, right? And like how you guys or whoever clicked on this video may be kind of at a place where you're like, seems like everything has a bit of dark in it, even if it's something that's meant for light, even if it's something that, you know, it's like everything's got a bit of dark in it. And so, you know, realizing that, coming to terms with that, seeing it, sitting with that, kind of taking it all in, realizing that there really is no sanctuary without a bit of threat to it. Right after he explains this, that man on the phone talking to Constantine, he dies from a demon attacking him. The detective who is seeking his help with her sister's schmuicide then explains that she used to see things as a kid too. So the whole movie, the detective that's seeking the help of Constantine to figure out what caused her sister to commit schmuicide, because her sister wasn't schmuicidal, the detective herself starts to admit to him around this point, like right after the man dies on the phone with Constantine because the demon attacked him because he read this excerpt from the Bible that's in hell. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys following me? She's like, yeah, I used to see things when I was a kid too, and he already knew that. He knew it. He sensed it. She basically admitted that she's stronger than her sister, but she had shut her gifts off a long time ago. She basically just denied them, and John then proceeds to tell her that it's a good thing because her denial is the reason that she's still alive. So the whole first video that I did was basically Aries or Aries of energy, somebody clicking on the video, cross watcher, not necessarily in denial yet of your gifts or of the path that you're on, but kind of not knowing if you still want to proceed, not knowing which way to go, because you're starting to see the truth of things, of everything that you've delved into, everything that you've learned, every avenue, religion, spirituality, all of it, any of it that you can possibly think of that you've tapped into. You can see where there's corruption, not necessarily in it, but it somehow like infiltrates, and it could make you be like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm exhausted of it. My head is spinning at this point. I'm really, quite honestly, I'm not sure what I want to do. Do I want to awaken my gifts more? Do I want to shut them off and deny them and say, you know what, I'd like to go back to the regular life I was living before. Thank you very much. I'd like to stop communicating with spirits and knowing things and getting prophetic dreams and such. I'd like to possibly shut that off, because I'm exhausted. You may be at that point, some of you. Well, this was her in the movie. And so there's a reason that I connected to Constantine. There's a reason that I picked that up in the first video, and I was like, nope, we've got to do a bonus or an extension to the bonus, because again, it's not the actual movie, it's nothing like that, but it's just, I think Spirit gave me that movie to explain better. It's like I smell fire. Speaking of shutting off gifts, I got like a whiff of fire just now. Anyway, I still smell it. That would be the whole reason that I channeled the movie, basically. I wrote that down. So you may feel exhausted of constant spiritual attacks and changes that come along with this path. Whatever you consider the path that you're on, you're probably exhausted of every single time you try to do something. Every time that you try to move forward, you're knocked back down a peg or 20. You're probably tired. Your head probably is spinning as well. You might be at the phase or this point of your journey where you're like, yep, I'm rather exhausted. I'm still smelling the fire. It's almost like heat, like someone's turned the heat on, and I don't think the heat is actually on, but it smells like the heat has been turned on, which is really funny that we're talking about this, because there was a lot of fire in that movie, hell and such. But anyway, yeah, basically I just wrote a little message down, things that kind of stood out to me, and I think the whole first bonus, the bonus that we did, aside from this extension and me channeling Constantine and all of that, is all to say that your guides, your ancestors, your creator, whoever you believe in, because we're all here for different purposes, and I don't know what your path is, but they hear you, okay? Even if you don't feel heard, even if you don't feel seen, even if you're like, am I on the right path? Is this really what I'm supposed to be experiencing? Like, is this normal? Like, I didn't know what I was bargaining for here. I asked for this path, but I don't really know if I want to proceed. Well, they're saying you can opt out. You can opt out at any time. You can say, I don't want to do this anymore. You can deny it. As with anything, it's never too late. As long as you're 6 feet above, it's never too late. Almost to denounce. But they're also saying that you're being heard. They hear you. They understand that it's not easy. They understand that you're fatigued. You're spiritually fatigued. You're exhausted. And they understand when you don't know which way to turn, when you don't know if you want to proceed on the path that you've been going on. They understand that it can be confusing and thick. The information you receive here in this existence is thick. It's hard to decipher. And that maybe you don't always feel that you're supported or have the help, but they are there. But they're also saying that they're not going to try to influence you or convince you to do one thing or the other. That is completely up to you to continue if you want to, but you are absolutely permitted to opt out at any time. So some of you have come to kind of like a crossroads in your journey, in your, I want to say spiritual journey if you're watching this, where you're like, I'm not quite sure if I want to proceed further. Like, I understand that things aren't going to get easier for me, but it's really hard to sit on the path that I'm on and look around and just feel so disconnected from like what most people see as reality, when I'm not seeing it that way at all. At times it can feel very much like overwhelming, and that's an understatement. Some of you are considering almost like returning to yourself, like almost like that song Return to Innocence by Enigma. You're like almost wanting to return to, instead of innocence, almost ignorance, and I mean that in the kindest way possible, of just closing the eyes off again, closing the mind off again, where you're not seeing through the veil anymore because it's hard. Not because you can't handle it. Look what you've gone through. But you've seen, or you're beginning to see, different truths of the world that we're in, and the things that the human eyes can't see, and the things that even you were involved in before that were happening amongst you, but you just didn't realize. And there was a peace in that, almost like ignorance is bliss. There was a peace in that because you could go about your life. So it's up to you, because curses do come with the blessings. You've made a lot of sacrifices. You've suffered a lot. And you are absolutely entitled to always change your mind. As long as you're here and you're walking in the flesh that you're in, and the breath, which is your life, resides within you, you can change your mind. If you wish to not move forward any longer, and you want to forfeit the path that you're currently on and return, you will still take with you the knowledge that you've learned thus far. It's like once you see, you can't unsee, you can't unlearn. But they can put up a wall again where you're not seeing any further if you so choose. You can basically choose to live in denial. You can. I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. I don't think I'm advising you of anything. I think I'm just giving the message to you right now because, quite honestly, I get it. Like, if this is you, and I don't think this is going to resonate for everybody, but for those who are meant to watch this, that it's meant for, you will definitely know what I mean by this message and why I channeled Constantine. And you will know what they're trying to tell you. Tell me. Because they're trying to tell me the same shit, because I'm on this path also with you, where I'm like, that's why I'm able to perceive it. Same. It's lonely. It's intrusive at times because it takes over your entire life, and it almost seems like a never-ending battle. Like, you ever hear people talk about the healing journey, and they say once you're seeking a healing journey, you're always healing. There's always like something to heal from, and you get to a place in your healing journey where you no longer are seeking to heal anymore. You're like, okay, I'm done with the healing, because the healing is painful. It's not that you can't handle it. It's not that you're not strong. It's not that you're not a warrior and you're weak or something. If anybody knew what your personal journey was here, of course everybody's got different stories, and people around the world have it 10 times worse than we do. But that's not to say that you haven't had it rough also. It's been hell. It's also not to say that if you choose to deny your gifts moving forward, that you won't continue to be in hell. It'll just be a different kind. You'll perceive it differently. It's like, I guess your guide's asking you, what will your answer be? Do you wish to resign? If you do, it will be granted to you. You're not being held prisoner. You're not being held by some sort of spiritual contract. That's what the shadow does. The shadow holds you to a spiritual contract. Pay up. This one, A lot of you guys have chosen it's called like a light worker. You've chosen to be a light worker. You've chosen the path of light. And the path of light, it appears one way, but once you're on it, you're like, wow, there's actually a lot of darkness in the path of light. Think about it. When the sun comes up during the mornings, okay? When the sun is up and it's shining for however many hours the sun is up each day, wherever you are in the world, somewhere around your area and around the world, there are buildings with the light shut off. There's darkness in the light. And every night, when the moon comes out and the sun has gone to sleep, or rather just can't be seen, the homes are lit. People still cooking in the kitchen, people having night lights on, people's computers on, people's TVs left on where is it Roku, scrolls across the screen, people on their cellular devices scrolling. There's light at night. So there is light, at least always somehow surrounding darkness, even if it's not in it. And there's always darkness somewhere around light or in it. Yin yang. And I think I'm going to leave it there. Well, that's food for fucking thought, isn't it? This whole message makes me think, I think somebody did turn the heat on. Well, son of a bean-bit mother Frito, it is winter time. I'm not winter time. Come on now. Winter time would make sense if we put the heat on. I mean, there you go. Heat, cold. Light, dark. Dark, light. All right, talk to you later. Bye.